What's up, and welcome back to another episode of Gameball. Today, joining the show, we have four-star All-American linebacker in baseball and football signee to the University of South Carolina, Stone Blaine. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. But as I mentioned, you're a dual sport athlete. You thrive in both sports. But I want to talk a little bit about football, about your high school career. You won 3 state championships, which is very incredible to see happen. But what was that all like for you, going and winning your state championship 3 times?
Yeah, it was amazing. I couldn't have done it without our teammates and coaches that pushed us along because where I'm from, MRA, the school across the road, Jackson Prep, had dominated us for a long time. They had won 7 straight, I believe, before we won ours, and it was kind of a culture change is what really helped us to be able to beat them eventually. But my sophomore year, we had great leadership and a quality team that wanted to win, and that's what we did. We changed the culture, and from there we just carried off of that, to the next year and the next year after that. And so hopefully we leave a legacy and a dynasty behind us, and the players behind us have a good culture and a good foundation where they can build off of that and continue to win.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And, I guess you've left a great legacy there. But how much do you think you've improved from, I guess, freshman, sophomore year to now senior year, where you had over 100 tackles and 10 sacks, 20 for tackles for a loss? But how much do you think you've improved as a player?
Yeah, I've definitely improved a lot, and that goes back to the coaches. They pushed me every single day and made practice really difficult, which made the games a lot easier. It made it come natural, and I feel like that was the biggest thing for me was just preparing and practicing like a champion every single day. That way, when the games came, it was just instincts and playing like a practice. They really helped me be able to click on practice, so click in the games, and that's kind of where my game changed was through practice.
Yeah, definitely. You also played 2 other sports, baseball and track, but how do you think you've been able to, I guess, manage that schedule? And how do you think having to play 3 sports and manage a schedule like that will help you manage your schedule in college?
I think it'll be very beneficial. I love staying busy and staying very active, and it takes a lot of dedication from the afternoons and go hit baseball after practice. It's something I love to do, and I find a lot of joy in it and pride in it. So can't wait to continue to do that on the next level.
Definitely. And, bringing up your recruitment, you originally committed to Mississippi State since 2019 for about 2 years for baseball. Then you opened up your recruitment again, especially after your sophomore year, when you realized that, hey, I can also play football too at the next level.
Yeah.
But what was the entire recruitment process like for you, and what was it all like when you realized that you're also going to play 2 sports?
Yeah, the recruiting process was really amazing. I mean, to build relationships with so many coaches was one of my favorite things to do. Just learning from them and have them pour into me and learn more about the game was super amazing. I love South Carolina staff because they were very personal with me and taught me a lot about the game. Coach White, sat down with me on multiple Zooms for a long time and taught me through his defense, taught me through my film and what I need to improve on, how I can get better, and stuff like that is why I love them and appreciate them so much. Is because they want me to get better. Even when I wasn't even committed there, they wanted me to get better and show me ways that I could. And that's kind of why I enjoyed them a lot and getting to know them. And then baseball side of things, I love Mississippi State staff so much, and it was really tough to decommit from them and go to South Carolina, but they were the same way with me. Just I really like them and grew up watching Mississippi State baseball, but I also know South Carolina baseball is phenomenal, and I can't wait to get there. So I'm super excited to get to know that staff a little better and get up there and play in that stadium.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned the relationship part of it. I mean, when you're committed to a college for 2 years, it's one thing to have them recruit you, but to know that you might go there is another thing. But did that kind of make it a hard decision for you to ultimately decommit from Mississippi State and look other places?
Yeah, it was definitely a very tough decision. It took a lot of prayer and talking to my parents and coaches. But ultimately, I felt like it was best for me to leave the state, leave home, and go to South Carolina. And I'm super glad I did because I feel like I'm going to grow more as a person and as a player by going there. And then, like I said, I can't wait to get there.
Definitely for sure. And you mentioned you spoke to Coach White, but also Shane Beamer. great coach, great head coach. I'm sure you had a couple conversations with him. But what did he kind of mention to you during the recruitment process to really say like I want to buy into this team and this school?
It was all about the culture for me. Coming from a place that didn't have culture and then, seeing a culture change is exactly what I was seeing at South Carolina is, they had lost some games, but then this season when Coach Beamer came in, you could already tell immediately how the players reacted and how they picked up on what he was saying and believed in him and, really buying into his culture. And that's exactly a place where I want to be is be able to go to a place that has that foundation with the head coach that can build on that and continue to grow. And I believe we can be very, very good at the next level and compete for championships.
Definitely. And, you being from Mississippi, you're the hometown kid, you accomplished a lot of stuff, in Madison. What was it like the whole, I guess, reaction to you leaving the state, being this talented player and saying, I'm not going to go to Ole Miss, I'm not going to Mississippi State, I'm going to another SEC school. Like, what was like the reaction to it? Were people happy, upset? Like, what was all like for you?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. But the people who care about me most knew that, that decision was the best one for me. It was really tough leaving home, like I said, but the people who actually, care about me, they were happy for me. I'm sure some people were a little bit upset, but they'll eventually get over it and still support me because I'm from Mississippi and I still am going to represent Mississippi the way, as much as I can. Being at South Carolina, I still want to represent from where I am. So I think they'll still, be happy for me in the long run and appreciate, me at South Carolina.
Yeah, definitely. So, something I found kind of interesting. You said in April of, I guess, last year that your decision when you, found out you were getting all these offers from football, that it was kind of 60% football, 40% baseball. So, what was what you mainly looking at just recruitment for football? And if they had a good baseball program, you'd go there, or was it like you need to have both? What was that like for you?
I definitely want the school to have both. But the thing with baseball recruitment is when you're committed in baseball, the baseball coaches don't talk to you whether you're a football guy or not. So the only really conversation I had with Coach Kingston was in person when I went on visits. And so that part was kind of tough because I had a much better relationship with the baseball people at Mississippi State. But, Coach Kingston, when I sat down with him, I can immediately tell, he was a coach that I could trust and I wanted to play for. And so I felt completely confident committing to South Carolina just because of, the few interactions that we have had. And, I trust him and I want to play for him.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And, with 24/7 sports, they kind of log your visits, log your offers. And something that kind of piqued my interest was, so in between the months of September and October, you took 4 unofficial visits to Mississippi State and you took 2 visits to Ole Miss. So it was like the decision, like kind of down to the wire for you?
It was. I didn't know until 2 days before signing day. So it was definitely down on the wire.
Yeah. So when you actually committed to South Carolina those 2 days before, that's when you actually knew it was like the spot for you?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive. That's crazy. I mean, I'm sure it was a tough decision, trying to leave home and all. But you're an All-American. You went to Orlando, you did the whole thing. But what was like the All-American Bowl like for you?
It was amazing. I mean, being around such great players, competing with those guys, really, I feel like it jump-started me to what it's going to be like at the next level because, all those guys are going to be playing at Power 5 colleges and, trying to get a spot on the starting roster, freshman year. That's exactly what I want to come in and do. And they have similar mindsets to me. And, we all want to play good and play hard. So it was very fun competing against those guys and playing with them and getting it on.
Did they teach you different things about the game, or was it just kind of you going and hanging out with everyone?
No, it was kind of just, go out there and play. We only had, I think, 1 play and it was man coverage. So it wasn't the practices were more competitive, I think, than the game was, if I had to say so.
I bet. So kind of shifting to your recruiting class, you're coming in, you're at least obviously star wise, you're one of the top recruits in your recruiting class. But how do you think you can help be like a leader with these guys that you're coming in with?
Yeah, I think it just starts with building relationships with them. You can't, come into a program and instantly start trying to lead it. You have to learn from the older guys and build relationships with people, earn trust and things like that. That's how I've always built leadership is you have to learn from the leader that's there now. And then you see how he does and you get his pros, you get his cons, and you kind of make your own leader out of that. And that's kind of how where great programs come from is they have a good leader and then they have people under them that follow them because every leader has to have followers or he's not a leader. And so I think the best way to lead people is, you first have to build relationships and then build trust with players, and then leading just comes naturally after that.
Definitely. You're going to be there for 3 to 4 years potentially, but what do you hope to accomplish at South Carolina?
I want to win. I want to win a lot and, hopefully get us to a championship as I think everybody's goal there and what we all see in the future.
Definitely. Something that's, I guess, always going to stay around is that rivalry between Clemson and South Carolina, and the whole, it's been apparently 3,000 days since South Carolina last won. But are you excited about joining this new rivalry?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been dealing with the egg bowl for majority of my life, so I'm ready to see a new kind of rivalry and really get to dive into that and learn to hate them.
There you have it. So wait, growing up, were you a Mississippi State fan, I'm assuming?
I was, yeah.
Weird. So how was that Egg Bowl experience when you saw the that one game? I forgot who it was, but the receiver, he did his little
yeah.
That must have been crazy right there.
I was at that game. That was wild.
Really?
That was wild.
Yeah.
But that's the peak of the rivalry. People be getting in fights in the stands, talking noise and stuff like that. I feel like South Carolina and Clemson is the same way.
Definitely. Obviously South Carolina has a great atmosphere, a great fan base, and you obviously you took a visit or two to some of their games. But are you excited to kind of have that atmosphere and have that fan base behind you?
I'm super excited when those white towels start waving and Sandstorm comes on, and it makes your skin crawl. It's an unreal feeling. I can't wait to run out of the tunnel and play on that field.
Definitely. Obviously something I looked into with baseball, at least for you, Perfect Game, they do their ratings and they do whatnot, and they gave you like a 9, basically saying you could potentially be drafted. But if you were to get drafted out of high school, would you consider going and taking that, or would you come back to or go to South Carolina still?
No, I'll go to South Carolina.
All right. I had to ask that for sure. So you haven't really enrolled yet, but are you excited to get to campus and get ready for summer?
I'm super excited. I'm jealous of the people that are there now, so I'm ready to get there.
Definitely. Are you still staying in contact with all the coaches and all the players and whatnot?
Yeah, for sure. I'm staying in touch with Coach White a lot and Coach Beamer as well. So still building those relationships, and now it's just about learning the plays and getting the playbook.
How do you think Coach White will, I guess, utilize you as a player from day one, but also in the coming years?
I think he's going to utilize me as a Mike linebacker, kind of in the middle, leading the defense and making plays in the middle. And I think that's kind of where he wants me and sees me right now.
Definitely. What do you think your best trait is as a linebacker?
I think my instincts are one of my best traits. And I'm a hard hitter. That's kind of stop the run, and that's what I love to do. So
definitely almost like a mini Luke Kuechly in a way right there.
That's right.
But before I let you go, do you have any comments you want to make to the fan base, to South Carolina? Let them know you're ready.
Can't wait to get there. Can't wait to meet them all. That's what I'm excited about.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I hope you take care soon.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.